Hello everyone, welcome to today's lecture. So today what we are going to do is we are going to cover the essay 700 series, essay 701, 706 and rest of the essays. Okay. In last lecture what we did, we discussed about the audit report. I showed you a audit report wherein how the audit report is structured, how the audit report is drafted, and accordingly, how various standards play an important role in drafting of an audit report. Okay, so continuing on that line itself, continuing on the deadline itself, what we are going to do is we are going to see rest of the portion that are left out from the audit report. Remember some SA701 portion, SA706 portion. So I will be covering that portion of the audit report and we will be taking forward the session accordingly. Okay. And before I start in detail, few things I want to highlight or I will reiterate again. Number one, please either go to the previous lecture itself or, I'm already covering in detail in this lecture also, but please read the study material, the standard text which is there. So once you will read the standard text, before watching the lecture or even simultaneously, it will enhance your understanding of the standard. Whatever we are doing here, if you combine that with the reading, it will really help you to understand the concepts and the way it is presented in the standard itself. So for next time, what will happen is once you have got that understanding of the particular standard while reading, next time it will not take that much time to revise the standard because you are now familiar with the words, the reading and everything. And that's very important. Okay. So please watch the, like if you're watching the lecture in advance, fine. Please read the study material too. That is very important. And practice. The more you will practice, the more you will, remember and learn the things. So always keep practicing the questions, MCQs. That will really enhance your confidence also about attempting a question. Okay. Okay. So let us start then essay with first essay 701. Now, when I talk about essay 701, now what is essay 701 about basically? And why it is important. So we need to understand that. Now, essay 701 basically talks about key audit matters. Talks about key audit matters. Now, what are key audit matters? Key audit matters are something which are very important to the audit report. So there is a given definition, but SA 701, that is communicating key audit matters in the independent auditor's report, talks about and deals about the disclosure of key audit matters. Communicating key audits matters in the audit report. Okay. Now, for that, let's understand what is the definition of key audit matters. Okay. Anyone, before I proceed, anyone, if you have seen previous lectures or if you have read the study material, can anyone tell me what is key audit matters? What are key audit matters? Come on, guys. What are key audit matters? Anyone? Okay, good. Good, Hariji. Okay, good, Panu. Good, Janvi. Okay, good. Yes. So, absolutely correct with respect to the key audit matters. Now, key audit matters are the significant, the key audit matters in auditor's judgment are most significant in the audit of financial statement. Okay. And these are for the current periods. So when I say a matter is a significant, so there are certain things which define, okay, what is significant, we'll see in a while. But key audit matters are those matters that was significant in the audit of financial statement. Okay. So I could say in auditors judgment, okay, in auditors professional judgment, these key audit matters were of most significance. Most significant in the audit of financial statement. Now the question arises, how will I identify like what is significant, what is not? So what is most significant? Now there are certain things which can be termed as the most significant. Okay. Now what are those things? Basically, there is this guidelines or a section in the standard itself given which talks about how to determine key audit matters. Okay, how to determine a key audit matter, basically like what can be the key audit matters, or you can say at least which are the guidelines to determine key audit matter. Okay, so when I talk about determining key audit matter, so key audit matters like the items of most significance can be one, area of higher risk assessed risk of material misstatement. So areas where you are already assessed higher assessed risk of material misstatement, okay, or significant risk as per 315. Okay, one could be that area. Now, which could be the second area? The second area could be significant judgments made by auditor, okay, while auditing the financial statement. Now, that includes judgment regarding estimates or judgment regarding where management has made the judgments or it significant management judgment, including accounting estimate, okay, with estimation uncertainty. Okay. Now, third area, which could be of more significance, can be events or transaction that have occurred during the period and that are of such nature which require such communication. Okay, I could say significant events and transaction that are of such nature that that require their disclosure and as a key audit matter. Now, which could be those one, if I have to tell you, which could be those one. Now, events with a significant effect on the financial statement can be, like for example, some mergers, acquisition, accounting for those mergers and acquisition. Okay, so also it could be, some patent purchase, trademark, IP purchasing agreement, disinvestment, a lot of things could be there. One of the transaction which is of such nature, such significance that is important to, auditor also, to management also. So events or transaction that has a significant effect on the financial statement or maybe the audit, okay, including the areas of significant audit, can be considered as a of most significance and can be disclosed as a key audit matter. Okay, so this was basically the, I can classify what could be the most significance in the audit of FS. Now the thing is that when you read the definition of key audit matters, it says that it is selected from the matters communicated with those charged with governance. Now why? Now it says that most significant in the audit of FS, okay, and key audit matters, we usually write KAM, KAM, key audit matters, are selected from matters communicated to those charged with governance. Now, why so? Anyone? Why we are placing a requirement that these matters should be from the matters which are communicated to those charged with governance? Why we are placing this thing? What is the purpose of restricting this thing? Can't we communicate? Can't we select a key audit matters which is not communicated to many those charged with governance? Come on, guys. Can I select a matter which is of most significant, but I have not communicated to those charged with governance? Can I do that? Very important to understand. Can I do that? Can I pick up a key audit matter, okay, and which is not disclosed or communicated to those charged with governance? Can I do that? You might be saying, sir, you just now displayed that standard doesn't require standard required matters one from communicated. I want to understand the logic. Okay, why we have such a requirement? And what if you do that? Like, let's say I today identified a complex area which I have not reported to those charged with governance, and I want to report into the key audit matters. Just because I have not communicated, can't I disclose into key audit matters? Come on. Can I or can I not? See, now the understanding of this lies with SA 260. Okay. Now, if you read SA 260 talks about significant findings from the audit that are required to be communicated with those charged with governance. Okay. And if you read, it talks about all the events in including any other significant matter arising during the audit that auditors' professional judgment are relevant to the oversight of the financial reporting process, or significant difficulties or circumstances that may change the form and content of audit report. So it covers all the matters, including, auditors view about significant qualitative aspects of the entity, accounting practice, accounting policies, accounting estimate, and financial disclosures. Everything is being covered by SA 260. If today I say that, okay, there is a matter which I have not communicated, but it is of significance that it requires as a disclosure as the key audit matter, then I'm not complying with SA 260. That's the main thing then. If there is a matter which is of that significance that is required a disclosure as a key audit matter, then it should have been, it should also fall into the definition within the matters to be communicated under SA 260. In that case, what am I doing? I'm not complying with SA 260, and that I cannot do. I need to comply with SA 260 plus I need to comply with SA 701. But first comes SA 260. And why? Okay, tell me one thing. Why SA 260 will come first? The reason, simple reason is communicating with those type with governance. It's throughout the audit, like from planning to my end of the audit. It's not just at a particular moment I need to communicate to those charged with governance. Okay. So when I talk about SA 260, it's from the start of the audit, because SA 260 also required you to report on the communicate about the independence of the auditors. If you read SA 260, it talks about the plan, scope, and timing of the audit, independence of the auditors, auditor responsibility in relation to financial statement. These are also the matters which are required to be communicated to those charged with governance. And I am like plan, scope, and timing. I will be communicating at the start of the audit, not at the end of the audit. When I talk about SA 701, okay, SA 701 itself talks about communicating key audit matters in the independent auditor's report. So they provide how to communicate key audit matters at the time of independent auditor's report. So that's why SA 260 will come first when I will communicate the matters under SA 260. Then I will consider from those matters, the matters which are required to be reported as a key audit matter. I hope I'm clear. Correct, Janvi. Correct, Namrata. Okay. Now, so what we discussed is that key audit matters are matters in auditor's professional judgment were of most significance in the audit of financial statement of the current period. Now, key audit matters are selected from the matters with those charged with communicated with those charged with governance, and they can be either area of higher risk assessment, significant risk, significant management judgment, including accounting estimates with estimation uncertainty, or significant events or transactions during the period. So these three can be a key audit matter. Like I can consider the key audit matter from these three. Now, once I have decided, okay, what is key audit matter? I have now decided. Then I need to communicate key audit matter in my audit report also. Okay. So when I need to communicate the key audit matter, what I need to communicate, that is important to understand, and that we will understand with one example. Just a minute, I'll open. Remember this audit report from last lecture we were discussing? Now we will be discussing key audit matters over here. Okay. So this key audit matters. If you let's see how the disclosure is made. Key audit matters are those matters, okay, that in our if you read this, in our professional judgment were of most significance in our audit of the standalone financial statement of the current period. So focus is on that in our professional judgment, means in auditor's professional judgment were of most significance in the audit of standalone financial statement. These matters were addressed in the context of our audit of standalone financial statement as a whole and in forming our opinion thereon, and we do not provide a separate opinion on these matters. So these matters were addressed in the context of our audit of standalone financial statement as a whole and in forming our opinion thereon. And we do not provide a separate opinion on these matters. Now, this particular line, which I'll highlight in blue, these matters were addressed in the context of our audit of standalone financial statement as a whole. Now, what is the need of this particular line? Why we are writing this, that they were addressed? If we are disclosing a key audit matter, why we are saying that this was addressed already? Why? There is a specific purpose of this line, trust me. Very, very important purpose of this particular line. Can anyone tell me why we are writing that these matters were addressed in the context of our audit? Why we are saying that these matters were addressed? Why? What is the purpose of saying that okay, these matters were addressed? Come on, guys. Okay, Janvi. But why I'm writing that okay, these matters are addressed? Or like I'm why I'm taking like if I talk about the word addressed, it's something like taken care of. Why I'm talking about that these matters were taken care of while performing the audit? What if some of the matters are not taken care of? They are still open. If I write this line, then it will be incorrect. Let's say, for example, if I write, okay, some of the matters are still open or have an impact on financial statement, could be a misstatement. Then why I'm writing this line? Okay, what if some of the key audit matters are still not addressed? Then will I write this line? Let's say, for example, some of the key audit matters are misstatement. Okay, because they were higher risk, there was a misstatement. Okay, and material misstatement. So can I write this line then? Okay, good, Namrata. Come on, guys. If there is a material misstatement, if in a particular item, and I have selected that item because there was a higher risk assessment. Okay, the risk of material misstatement was higher, or let's say there was a significant fraud risk in that particular area. Can I write this particular line that they have been addressed, but there is a material misstatement behind? A critical thing to understand. It's just not like that there is a particular standard, or there are particular lines which are just uh, written over there. Each and every line has a specific meaning and purpose, trust me. What do you think? Can I write this line when a particular item still contains a material misstatement? Come on, guys, I want full participation. At least say yes or no. I just received only one answer. Okay. So, so now what will happen is that, see, if, okay, if we write that particular line, if we are writing that particular line, okay, that these items are addressed, okay, there is a purpose behind writing those line, that line. Okay, there is a purpose, and the purpose is very simple, that we will not we will not qualify our audit report, okay, for the items. So we will not qualify our audit report for the items which are reported in the key audit matters. Very simple. That means that key audit matter is not a substitute for the reporting qualifications. If there is a material misstatement, then I will issue a qualified or adverse opinion rather than writing that item into the key audit matters. So key audit matters will only contain that item that is not a qualification. And if item is not qualification, if it was of such significant nature, okay, and not a qualification, means I have by default addressed that item during my audit. I have performed necessary testing and gathered evidence. That's why I am today saying that this item is not a material misstatement. This item is not a basis for qualification. And hence, that's why I write this line, okay, these are addressed during the audit. So this leads us to understand that the key audit matter should not contain any item on which our opinion is qualified. Okay. So the key audit matter, so the key audit matter Okay, shall not. Okay, the key audit matters section of auditor's report. Okay, should not be used to modify the opinion. I should not be using to modify the opinion, but modification of the opinion is the responsibility of SA 705. If you want to modify the opinion, you need to refer to SA 705, not SA 701. So key audit matters are not matters of modification. They are just key in the nature. Understand, there's a difference. That's why I need to write this line that these matters were addressed because these are not matters of modification. Correct, Namrata. Now let us see some examples of key audit matters. Okay. And how we disclose them. Okay. If we read over here, these are the key audit matters. If you see, I have the description of the key audit matter, plus I have one more thing, how the matter were addressed during our audit. Because this is not a modification and hence I'm supposed to provide this detail that how I am addressing the matter in my audit. Okay. So let's read the key audit matter. As disclosed in note 25 to the standalone financial statement, the revenue is measured net of any trade discount, volume rebates to the customer, discounts and rebates. Certain discounts and rebates for the goods sold during the year are only finalized when the precise amounts are known. And the revenue therefore includes an estimate of variable consideration. The variable consideration represents the portion of discount and rebates that are not directly deducted on the invoice and involves estimation by the company in recognition and measurement of such discount of rebates. This includes establishing an accrual at the year end, particularly in arrangement with the customer involving terms which are based on annual contracts or short-term arrangement. In addition, the value of the timing of promotion for the products varies from period to period, and activity can spend beyond the year end. The unsettled portion of the variable consideration results in discount rebates due to customer at year end. So what they are talking about is long-term discounts and rebates and schemes which provide such discounts and rebates. Okay, so if you read the last line, therefore we identify the evaluation of accrual for discounts and rebate as a key audit matter, not the revenue. Revenue is my revenue risk of fraud in revenue. Okay, revenue is a significant risk. But over and above that, they are saying we have identified evaluation of accrual for discount and rebate as a key audit matter. Now, if this is a particular key audit matter, let's understand what audit procedures the team has performed to address this. So what audit procedures the team has performed, the audit team has performed to address this key audit matter? Because today I say it's not an observation, it's not the qualification, it's not a modification. So somewhere I have addressed this, I have performed some procedures, I have gathered some evidence, and how that, let's read. Understanding the process followed by the company to determine the amount of accrual for discounts and rebates. Understanding the entity. So they have applied, okay, SA 315, good. Okay. So they have performed the understanding means inquiries. Then what they have done is evaluating the design and implementation and testing of operating effectiveness of companies, general IT controls, key manual and application controls over the company's IT system during the control over rebate agreements, arrangement, rebate payments, settlements, and company review of other rebate accruals. So they have tested the controls. And when I test the controls, I follow SA 315 plus SA 330. Okay. Then what they have done is inspecting on a sample basis key customer contracts based on the term and conditions relating to the discount and rebates, assessing the company's revenue recognition policy with reference to the requirements of the applicable accounting standard. Okay. So they are referring to the terms and conditions of the discount, revenue recognition policy, and applicable accounting standards, like how to record that particular transaction. Okay, so on a sample basis, remember. So when I talk about a sample, I have applied SA 530. Plus, I have done some substantive testing over here. Okay, so I am doing substantive testing to understand whether the details are appropriate or not. So I could say they have applied SA 530 audit sampling. Clear? Okay. SA 530 audit sampling. Now what they have done then? Just a minute. Okay. Then what they are doing is they are performing substantive testing by selecting samples of discounts and rebate recorded during the period. Now, because of this substantive testing, like they will be, able to understand, able to get the details. Just a minute, I think there's technical glitch. Give me a minute. Sorry, just give me a minute. Okay, so performing substantive testing by selecting samples of discount and rebates. Okay, transaction recorded during the year as well as the period end, discounts and rebates and accrual, and matching the parameters used in the computation with the relevant source document. Again, they are performing testing, but this time to target the different. So first, they were inspecting on sample basis the contracts. Now they are performing substantive testing by selecting samples of discounts and rebates. Again, I'm performing the testing, but to target different assertion. Then examining historical records, rebates, accrual together with understanding of the current year developments. Okay, checking completeness and accuracy of the data used by the company for accrual and discounts rebate. Testing actualization of the estimates on the accrual sample basis. Now, what is that? Can anyone explain me what is this and why we are doing this? Why the audit team is doing this? Checking actualization, testing actualization. Why the team is doing testing the actualization? And if you can refer the essay also, then it will be very helpful. Why do you think testing actualization is being done over here? Yes, Namrata, thank you. I will come on to your question, why there is a need to mention audit procedures followed for the key audit matters separately. I'll come on to that. Okay, Purvi Ben, good. Why we are writing about actualization, number two, like under which essay? One is why, and two, under which essay? Okay, Janvi. Where the actualization is covered, in which essay? Come on, guys. Where it is mentioned that I need to test actualization. Good, Janvi. Okay, Purvi Ben. Good, Namrata. So, so now coming to the here, it's required as per essay 540. Okay, essay 540 itself talks about the reasonableness of the assumption used may depend upon the management's intent and ability to carry out certain uh, calculation for the estimates. Now, to understand whether the estimate procedure is correct or not, auditor can also, okay, auditor can also review the events occurring subsequent to the date of financial statement, which may give materialization to the estimation. Okay, so we may also check out the estimations outcome after the close of financial year to understand whether the estimates that were made by the management are appropriate or not. Clear? So, if you see SA 540, that specifically provides that we are required to evaluate the reasonableness of the accounting estimates. And that can be done. Reasonableness of the accounting estimate can be done by identifying the actual outcome of the accounting estimate. And the same question I remember we discussed in previous previous lectures. So SA 540 requires that you you identify the outcome of the accounting estimate to understand whether there is a management biasness or not, or whether the actual process of accounting estimate is appropriate or not. Okay. Then the next one is testing a selection of repaid accruals recorded after 31st March. Testing a selection of payment made after 31st March, critically assessing manual journal entries posted to revenue on a sample basis. Okay. Now there is a question. Question is that why we are mentioning all these steps? Why we are specifying the procedures taken to test the key audit matters. Why we are mentioning? The reason because number one, if we are saying it's a critical and key audit matter, if I say this is a key audit matter, then I need to provide the details why it's not a qualification and how I have addressed. See, the purpose of key audit, disclosure of key audit matters is not just to highlight the issue or a matter which is of significant nature, but to highlight that what auditor has done to enhance the comfort of the user. Today, if I list down 10 things that I have done to address a significant area, that will enhance the comfort of the user and it will build a confidence on my opinion. It's not something I'm just writing. I need to perform also. So whatever I will perform, I will write. So that's a purpose that we need to include the procedures that the audit team has performed. So I need to write two things with respect to the key audit matters in my audit report. So when I'm disclosing key audit matters, there are two things I need to specify. One, why the matter was considered, why the matter was considered to be one of most significance in the audit, okay, and therefore a key audit matter. Why I am saying that this matter is a key audit matter? Number two, how the matter was addressed in the audit. So these are the two things that I'm required to disclose okay, in audit report. These are the two things that I'm supposed to disclose in audit. I hope I'm clear. Any further doubts? Examples of actual outcome of the estimate. Now, there could be various estimates and the outcome may depend upon case to case basis. So let's say, for example, if you have made an estimate of the discount, like, okay, usually what happens is, I'll tell you one example and relevant example to this case only. Let's say, for example, there was a contract with customer for the discount. Okay. There was customer A. Okay. Now there was a scheme given to him by the company. So company gave him a scheme wherein, as per the slab system, okay, the quantity of goods that he will sell, he will get the discount. So let's say, for example, if he'll sell 0 to 50 units, okay, he will get a discount of rupees 30,000. Okay, on total. If he sells 50 to 100, he will get a discount of, let's say, 75,000. If he'll sell 100 to 200, he will get a discount of, let's say, 1,40,000. And if he'll sell more than 200, then he will get a discount of, let's say, rupees 1,80,000. And if he achieves 500 target of 500 over and above the discount, he will get bonus of, let's say, rupees 50,000. Now this is the word bonus, but usually it's the commission. In common terms, outside in the market, it is used as a bonus, but it's a commission. Okay, so you'll get an additional commission of 50,000 rupees. Now let's say this is a scheme. The scheme period is, let's say for example, 1/10/2022 to 31/3/2023. Now what will happen is the customer A, or not the customer, rather I would say this will be the dealer who will be selling on behalf of company, or he will be supplying to the customers. He's a dealer. Now dealer A will purchase from company like throughout the period. After the period, what will happen is, after the period, let's say after 31/3/2023, company will take a month or two to finalize under which slab the dealer will fall, what is the total invoice value, how much discount he is eligible for, and accordingly, the company will raise an invoice pertaining to the differential amount, or maybe sometimes they raise that much amount of credit memo, or different practices are there in the market, and accordingly that discount is passed to the dealer. But at the end of 31/3/2023, I need to book some estimate for the discount. So on a provisional basis, company will accrue the discount or rebate or whatever the thing is in the books of account, okay, based on some data. For example, that could be, if I take an example, that could be sale, okay, of let's say for example, sale till let's say 15th March. So they have taken the data of 15th March, sale till 15th March, and accordingly what they did is they have made the calculations and everything, and accordingly they have calculated this the provision. Now at the end, let's say for example, majority of the sale happened between 15 March to 31st March, then their provision will go wrong. So in that cases, we need to see whether the provision made by the management is appropriate in the circumstances or not by reviewing the outcome. I hope I'm clear. Okay. So that is something, some example on the same line. Yeah. Now there is one question. What if the matter is of modification, how it will impact in key audit matters? See, if the matter is of modification, I will not include in key audit matters. Key audit matters is not substitute for a modification. If there is any item which requires modification, I will remove it from key audit matters. I will not mention anything of that item in the key audit matters. Directly, it will be reported under the basis for qualification. Okay. So I will not include that item at any cost in my key audit matter if that requires any kind of modification. That includes going concern. I will not include going concern in my key audit matters because there is a separate requirement of that. Any doubt till now? Any doubt? Okay. So this key audit matter is not a substitute for modification. It's not a substitute for my going concern. It's not a substitute for adverse opinion. It's only just areas to identify the, of most significance which are already addressed. Plus, I'll give you one question and then you tell me whether this is appropriate or not. Telcom Limited, a listed entity. Okay. Telcom Limited, a listed entity. Okay. Decided to provide details of average revenue per user and the total number of active users they have on their network. Okay. Average revenue per user and total number of active users they have on their network. This information was not initially disclosed in financial statements and is not a requirement of financial reporting framework. So this is also not a requirement of financial reporting framework. However, later management decided to present this information, okay, as this is of significant importance for user understanding of the company's business or company's growth. Okay. Hence, management requested auditor to disclose this through key audit matters, okay, through key audit matters, as this item doesn't require any qualification. Or modification, basically. Doesn't require any qualification or modification. Kindly guide auditor in the current scenario. Okay. So basically what is happening is company wants to disclose the details of average revenue per user, okay, and active users they have on their network. It's a telecom company. Now they missed out this information in the financial statement, and now they are requesting, management has requested auditor to disclose this matter through KAM, as there is no qualification required, but this matter of significant importance for user understanding or for user of the company's growth. So this matter is of significant importance for user understanding for the company's growth. Understanding. Okay. So can auditor disclose this through KAM or not? Because this is not a qualification. This is not a qualification. Can auditor disclose this matter in the KAM or not? Absolutely correct, Janvi. Can this matter be disclosed under KAM or not, guys? And the reason, Purvi, when why can this matter be disclosed under KAM or not? And the reason for your answer. Come on, guys. This is also significant matter, significant importance for user understanding of the company's growth. This matter is also of significant importance for the user understanding of the company's growth. At what is average revenue per user and active users? Can this matter be disclosed under KAM? Okay, Sanuja. Good. Good, Namrata. Come on, guys. Can I disclose this matter under KAM? Very important to understand. Okay. Good, Purvi Ben. I'll come to on your question, Namrata. That how to decide which matter to be disclosed in KAM. Actually, I explained in the start of the lectures what is KAM and which matters can be part of the KAM, but I'll explain it again. Okay. So the answer is pretty much straightforward to this question is no. No, auditor should not disclose such matter in KAM. Now I'll explain you why. Because when I discuss the key audit matters were those matters that in auditor's professional judgment, not the management, but auditor's professional judgment, most significant in the audit of financial statement. Now, whether this matter was most of significance in audit, whether that matter was of that much significant in the audit, if you see the name key audit matters, means that is key to the audit, not to the user understanding, not to the management, but to the audit. So if I say key to the audit, means there is some audit background, like there is a higher risk. So the three areas: higher risk, area of higher assessed risk of material misstatement or significant risk, significant management judgment, including accounting estimation with estimation and uncertainty, or significant events and transactions during the period as per the professional judgment of auditor. So if these three areas are there, okay, then I can say, okay, I can classify them into the key audit matter. But that too, for that, I need to select area which is already reported to those charged with governance. So key audit matters are selected from the matters communicated to those charged with governance. So this should have been reported to those charged with governance. And in the current case, this example, this is a disclosure that management is saying. I have no relevance with the disclosure from the audit point of view. This is also not requirement of financial reporting framework. If you see, and it's not a requirement of financial reporting framework. Then in that case, I could say, okay, in none of the criteria it is getting fit, and this cannot be disclosed as a key audit matter. So how to decide which matters are to be reported? Based on this, matters which are, we need to select one matter, we need to select matters which are already communicated to those charged with governance of higher risk of material misstatement, significant management judgment or accounting estimate, or significant events or transaction. Now someone will ask, is there any limit on disclosing key audit matters? No, there is no limit as such to disclosing on key audit matters. If I show you an example, so how many key audit matters we have over here? One, two, three. So we have a three different key audit matters reported in this audit report. Some audit report might include 5, some audit report might include 2. There is no limit. It's upon the identification done by the audit team that, okay, which matters are key audit matters. And for each key audit matter, description, why this is a key audit matter and how the matter was addressed. 2 things. Clear? No, it's in the earlier example, if still this was required by financial reporting framework, still I wouldn't have reported into key audit matters. Reason, because key audit matters are not substitute for modification as per SA 705 going concern reporting as per going concern reporting as per SA 570 or substitute for disclosures in FS, okay, that requires management to make or otherwise necessary to achieve fair presentation. So Basically, disclosures as per compliance or slash fair presentation framework. Now, if you will make disclosure, if let's say, for example, there is a disclosure required as per the compliance framework, and if I do not make that disclosure, then again it's a matter of modification. Why I will be requiring that into the key audit matter? So that's why the disclosures. There is one question: can there be no key audit matter? Very, very difficult such scenario, very difficult. But usually there will be a key audit matter because there will be some areas which are of higher risk assessment, which will communicate to those charged with governance. And I'll come to that why. Till now, it is clear. Any doubt till now? Any doubt? Any doubt? Okay. Now there could be a scenario just like now, okay, that there are no key audit matters, or the key audit matters were the matters on which there is a qualification. There can be a scenario, let's say, for example, there was one matter, but that matter is of qualification. I have qualified my opinion. So, what will I do in that case? If there is no key audit matter, okay, like as I told you, rare example, or the key audit matter that I concluded was the matter that required qualification, then what? In that case, if no key audit matter are present, okay, then then the auditor should include a statement, okay, in a the auditor should include a statement under key audit matter paragraph to this effect. Means that there are no key audit matters, or the key audit matter that was there is already disclosed under the basis of qualified opinion or adverse opinion or like that. Clear? Any doubt? Okay. Now there is one just small thing that I want to highlight over here. Okay. That is the applicability of the reporting of key audit matters. As of today, this essay applies to the audit of general purpose financial statement of listed entity. So this essay, that is communication to key audit matters in the audit report. Just a minute. In the independent auditor's report, okay, is applicable to general purpose financial statement of listed entities. Okay, means if that is a listed entity, or when otherwise the auditor decides, but it is mandatory only for the listed entity. Okay, mandatory only for the listed entity. If auditor wants to comply with this based on the his judgment, then he can do that. But it's as of now mandatory for the listed entities. Okay, so applicable for general purpose financial statement of listed entities as of now. And second, if you read SS 705, not 701, but 705, that is this modification. Okay, in that modification, it is specifically provided, okay, that when there is a modification, when there is a disclaimer of opinion, okay, when the auditor disclaims an opinion due to inability to obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence, in that case, okay, in that case, the auditor is not required to provide key audit matters unless and until it is still necessary and mandatory as per the law. But unless required by the law or regulation, when the auditor is disclaiming an opinion on the financial statement, the audit report shall not include a key audit matter or other information section as per 720. So, if auditor is issuing disclaimer of opinion, then no key audit matter should be disclosed. So there is one question that in case when there is no key audit matter, then we need to write in that way that key audit matter paragraph in the sentence. Answer is yes. So still there will be key audit matter paragraph for the listed entity cases. And if there is no key audit matter, then you need to write under that paragraph that there is no key audit matter identified, or the matter that were communicated to the management and identified are already part of basis of modified or qualified opinion. So still there will be a paragraph. Clear? Any doubt? Now the question, another question is how it will help users to understand about the key, like understand the financial statement. See, when I talk about key audit matters, they are the matters of most importance, most significance. In that case, it will help the user to understand, okay, this was the critical area in the audit, and this is how the auditor has addressed the area. And that will, again, as I told you, will enhance the understanding and the confidence of the user of financial statement. Okay. So let's say, for example, if someone is worried how they are taken care of, revenue in this particular entity, and if I have disclosed in the key audit matter, then let's say, for example, the bank will be, let's say, for example, will have some confidence in me that, okay, they have considered revenue as a key audit matter, and this is how they have addressed. Means they have performed the audit procedures appropriately to cover the risk in the revenue. So this is how the key audit matters enhance the understanding of the confidence of the relevant stakeholders of the financial statement. Sure, Namrata. Okay. So this is about the key audit matter. Like which can be key audit matters, what to be disclosed in the audit report. Key audit matter is not substitute for this. And in case of disclaimer of opinion, there will be no key audit matters. As of now, only applicable to general purpose financial statement of listed entities. But otherwise, auditor can see it's not restricted to listed entities. It's mandatory for the listed, but voluntarily can be applied to any entity. Clear? Okay. If no further doubts, then let's take a quick 10-minute break. After the break, we'll gather back and we'll continue the session. Okay. Let's take quick 10-minute break. Hello everyone, welcome back. So till now we discussed about the key audit matters, okay, that are required to be reported in the case of listed financial listed entities or when the auditor decide. And whenever, let's say, if in the case of listed or if auditor decide, they are required to follow SA 701. Now, apart from that, apart from that, there is one more essay that I want to cover today is essay 706. Now, what is this essay about? This essay talks about emphasis of matter paragraph and other matter paragraph in the independence auditor report. I'll write short form IAR, but again, do not use such abbreviations in exam or while you write the exam answer. Okay, use the full term itself. I am just for the sake of notes and for the sake of revision when you do at the last moment. I'm doing that, but do not use this thing in the exam. Trust me. If you want to use any abbreviation, unless and until it is something being generally accepted and followed, you should not be using that. Okay. So SA 706, emphasis of matter and other matter paragraph. Now this is also required in the audit report. Emphasis of matter and other matter paragraph. And how? Let me tell you. See, when there is an emphasis of other matter paragraph in the audit report, we have seen the other matter paragraph in the audit report. I will show you the other matter paragraph in the audit report that we have already seen. Let me take you to the other matter paragraph that we saw in the case of consolidated financial statements. Yeah. When we were discussing the consolidated financial statement, we saw this other matter paragraph that was as per SA 600 plus. I told you at that time also this is as per SA 600 plus SA 706 other matter paragraph. Okay. In the same way, we can have also an emphasis of matter paragraph. Now, emphasis of matter paragraph talks about some important matters that could be there in a particular audit. Okay. I'll explain the difference between other matter and emphasis of matter, and I'll also show an example of emphasis of matter paragraph. So just don't go on the name of the company. Okay. I'll show you the emphasis of matter paragraph. See, this is emphasis of matter paragraph. Okay. Now, how we can differentiate between emphasis of matter paragraph and other matter paragraph? Okay. See, in the same audit report, we have other matters also. Now, this was the emphasis of matter paragraph. Now, if you see over here, I have other matter paragraph also. So we have both. As per SA 706, I have other matter also, I have emphasis of matter also. So when to disclose which item is very important to understand. If I want to disclose emphasis of matter paragraph or other matter paragraph, which I want to disclose, it's very important to understand the difference between both of them. Okay. Let us understand that. First, I will take up the emphasis of matter paragraph. Now, when I need to disclose the emphasis of matter paragraph, so if the auditor wants to report or wants to refer a matter that is appropriately presented and disclosed in the financial statement, that in auditor's judgment is of such importance that is fundamental to the user understanding of the financial statement, then I can report into the EOM. Again, if in if the auditor okay refers want to refers want to refer a matter that is very important, that is already disclosed and presented in financial statement appropriately. Okay, a matter that is appropriately presented and disclosed. Appropriately presented and disclosed in the FS. Okay, that, or you can say and that sorry in auditor's judgment, the said matter okay is of such importance. Now the said matter is of such importance that requires that is fundamental to the user understanding, is of such importance that is fundamental to the user understanding of financial statements. Okay, now few things that we need to refer here. One, when I say appropriately presented in and disclosed in financial statement, so the matter is already there in the financial statement. That means when I say appropriately disclosed and presented in financial statement, means the matter is already there in the financial statement. It's not something new that I'm presenting. So when I say matter is there, it's appropriately disclosed. Okay, it's already presented. Something not new I'm not bringing to the audit report. Are you getting my point? So this matter is already there in the financial statement. This is not something I'm new I'm bringing, but it is already there and appropriately disclosed. That's very important. That's very, very important to understand. Because what will happen is, if I say this matter, okay, is not appropriately disclosed, then it will become a point of my, what you say, qualification. Okay. If this matter is not appropriately disclosed, then it will become point of qualification. The fact that the matter is appropriately disclosed, then only I can say, okay, this is not a point of qualification. Are you understanding my point? So that's why this matter is of such nature which is already appropriately presented and disclosed in the financial statement. That is the first point. Number two, in auditor's judgment is of such importance, okay, that is fundamental to the user understanding. So it is for the user. So my focus is on to the user of financial statement. So I say fundamental to the user understanding of financial statement, not about the audit. Remember, so I am saying appropriately presented, fundamental to the user understanding, and with respect to the financial statement. So if I want to enhance the understanding of the user about financial statement and it is appropriately disclosed in the financial statement, then I can use emphasis of matter paragraph to highlight that, particular matter. And if you see the term emphasis of matter, I am emphasizing a particular matter which is already disclosed and presented in my financial statement. I'm not bringing anything new onto the audit report. Okay, that's the difference. First thing of the detail of definition of EOM paragraph. Clear? Let's see one example that was there in the audit report. See over here, it says we draw attention to the note 7 of the financial statement. Now this first line itself, we draw attention to the note of financial statement. It in itself is talking about or pointing to some matter already disclosed and presented in financial statement. So this is already a matter which is there. I'm just pointing to the attention. I'm bringing to the attention of the user. Okay. That wherein during the quarter ended 30th September, the board of directors of this particular entity decided to provide interest on borrowings which were not previously recognized in the books of account for the reasons stated in the said note. Accordingly, the figures and this is after tax, before tax equity has been impacted, okay, on such restatement. Consequently, the figure of the consolidated financial statement of holding also stand restated. The effect of the restatement in the consolidated financial statement has been disclosed in note 7. Our conclusion, again, very important. Our conclusion on the statement is not modified in respect of this matter. Why? Because the first condition was that it should be appropriately presented and disclosed in the FS. Then only I can bring into the EOM paragraph. So this is something appropriately presented and hence requires, or you can say, and hence doesn't require any modification on this. Okay. So if the matter is already appropriately presented in the financial statement, why do I require a modification? And that's why every time when I mention EOM paragraph, I will say that our conclusion on this statement or on this matter is not modified. Okay, it's not modified. Now, one question I will ask, okay, what if the matter is also of significant judgment, or significant risk of material misstatement, significant risk or higher risk of material misstatement, that is something required by SA 701. So what if the matter is of that nature that is also reported in key audit matters? So can I report key audit matter and emphasis of matter paragraph together? Like for example, matter is also there, matter is also here. So the matter is of such importance that I have reported into key audit matters, plus is of such it's to the importance that is fundamental to the user understanding. So I reported into the EOM paragraph. Can I say a particular matter is, in auditor's professional judgment, most significant in the audit of financial statement? Okay. And is also fundamental to the user understanding. Can they both together exist? Can they both together exist? I say no. The matter is fundamental to the user understanding also, and is of significant nature. Let's say, for example, in this case, okay, this is a restatement. Restatement can be of a significant nature because it contains restatement of the prior period in bringing something, let's say, for example, it's a higher risk, higher assessed risk of material misstatement. And I'll say, okay, how I have audited. Let's say this was communicated to those charged with governance also about this matter, that this is of significant difficulty or significant management estimation required, or something of prior period significant transaction. So that forms part of 260 also. Let's say, for example, this is something like this. And it's also something to the fundamental of the user understanding, because there is something which was not done previously, but now it's been done, subsequently. So I want to bring user attention also. Can I report the matter in KAM plus EOM? Okay, good Purvi Ben, good Tushar, good Namrata. Can I report a particular matter which I can say, okay, this is a key audit matter plus this is a EOM matter, both together? If yes, then can I combine both of the paragraphs, or I need to show two times? Very important. Now, if you guys saying yes, that okay, it can be combined, or I can disclose a matter at both places, then I need to disclose in one single paragraph that key audit matter and other emphasis of matter paragraph together, or I need to disclose two times separately. And if not, if you are saying that okay, it cannot be disclosed, then why? Okay, Namrata, come on, guys. Can I or can I not? If I can, then how? Like, should I combine the paragraphs? Should I disclose twice? If not, then why not? Okay, put Tushar. Absolutely correct, Purviben. Very good. This shows that you have read the material, or at least have watched the lectures, previous lectures. Very good. Come on, guys. So, can I disclose the matter together or not? Can I disclose same matter twice? If, let's say, for example, you guys are saying it will be repetition, can I combine both of the paragraphs, key audit matter and emphasis of matter paragraph? Thank you. Thank you, Proviman. Come on, guys. So, when I talk about EOM or OM paragraph, I'll come to the OM paragraph too. Okay. I'll come to the OM paragraph too. But when I talk about EOM paragraph, so the first thing I need to understand is that there is a specific purpose for each and every disclosure. And hence, on that line only, there is an exception, or you can say there are certain things which cannot be included in my EOM paragraph. So I'll write the exclusions. Number one, I cannot right. I cannot, use EOM paragraph to modify my opinion. To modify my opinion as per SA 701. Sorry, 705. Second, I cannot use EOM paragraph, okay, to report a matter which is already present in KAM. To report a matter which is already in key audit matters as per SA 701. So, auditor cannot disclose a matter into emphasis of matter paragraph if, like, he can only disclose if the auditor would not require to modify the opinion, and if SA 701 applies, means it's an audit of listed entity and the matter has not been determined as a key audit matter. So if the audit has not been, if the matter has not been determined as a key audit matter, and if it is not a point of modification, and if satisfied the definition, then only I can report as an emphasis of matter paragraph. Otherwise, I cannot. So exclusion is cannot be used to modify the opinion, cannot be used to report a matter which is already in KAM as per SA 701. So whenever I'm disclosing emphasis of matter paragraph, so disclosure requires certain things. Okay. So disclosure requires us to disclose that first separate section, the way we saw EOM paragraph section. Number two, it requires that a clear reference to be made to the relevant disclosure. So clear reference to be made to FS disclosure, because this is a matter which is already appropriately presented and disclosed in the FS. So I need to make a clear reference to the financial statement. Okay. I can only refer matter or information presented and disclosed in the financial statement. If the matter is not disclosed in the financial statement, I cannot use EOM paragraph. Remember that. Third, okay, if I'm referring a EOM paragraph, I need to indicate, okay, indicate that my opinion, auditor's opinion, is not modified in respect of that matter, which is emphasized. So I'm emphasizing, not modifying. There's a difference between both of them, modifying and emphasizing. I'm just emphasizing a matter which is already there in the financial statement, nothing else. That's an EOM paragraph. Okay, simple. I'm emphasizing, not modifying. That's why it's an emphasis of matter paragraph, not a modification. So, yes, we need to understand the opinion, KAM, and EOM. Now, the thing is, there is not a, you can say, procedure that first you need to understand the opinion, finalize the opinion, then KAM, then EOM. But all together, all these things happen simultaneously with one another. When I talk about evaluation of the evidence or misstatement, okay, when you evaluate the misstatement, you apply SA 450, okay. At that particular point in time, you not only, go for the opinion. After applying SA, 450, evaluation of misstatement identified during the audit, I evaluate whether my opinion is modified or not. Number two, at the time of 315 or 330, I understand the matters that are required to be disclosed or communicated to those charged with governance. So once I'm done with my testing, I see which are the matters of significant importance. At the time of 450, I pick out the matters from that and I report accordingly. And still, if I want to bring to the user's understanding any additional thing which is not a part of KAM or not a part of modification, then I can use EOM paragraphs. So when I will draft my audit report, at that particular point in time, everything will work hand in hand, and we will decide all these things. Sanuja, I discussed in detail that what matters can come in key audit matter paragraph. In the start of the lecture itself, I discussed, okay, what matters can be there as a part of key audit matters. Now, when I talk about EOM, again, I'll reiterate, EOM is only related to emphasize a matter which is already disclosed and presented in the financial statement, whereas my key audit matter in auditor's professional judgment is a matter of most significance in the audit of FS that is selected from matters communicated to those charged with governance. Now, when I say most significance, can be area of higher assessed risk of material misstatement or significant risk, significant management judgment, including accounting estimation with estimation uncertainty, significant events and transactions. And three things cannot be a KAM, that is modification, going concern, and disclosures that are required as per financial reporting framework. These three items cannot be a KAM. Okay. So this is KAM, EOM, both different. Any doubt? Any doubt, guys, with respect to EOM till now? Okay. Now, good. Okay. Now, there could be some areas where, EOM paragraph can be used. I'll just list down because it's already also provided in the, you can say, annexure to the standard. So there are already three areas which requires disclosure as per EOM paragraph. Number one, when the financial reporting framework prescribed by our law and regulations, okay, when the financial reporting framework prescribed by law or regulation would be unacceptable, but for the fact is prescribed by law or regulation, in that case, I need to report into the EOM paragraph. Okay. Second, to alert the users that the financial statement are prepared in accordance with the special purpose framework. And third, to focus and to bring the focus and attention of the users to the fact become known to the auditor after the date of auditor's report. Okay, after the date of auditor's report, and the auditor provides a new or amended audit report. That is in the case of subsequent events. In these cases, it's a specific requirement to include emphasis of matter paragraph. Okay, it's a specific requirement to include emphasis of matter paragraph. Another example could be, okay, there is something litigation going on, and I want to bring in attention of the user attention to that litigation. There is a subsequent event which is appropriately reported and disclosed in the financial statement. Early application of new accounting standards. Something major has happened within the company which a company is appropriately reported. So that is something I can use in EOM paragraph. Any doubt? Tushar, can you reframe your question like with more detail? If you can just, explain your question in more detail, right? Few more things I can understand. Any doubt, guys? Any doubt? Any doubt? Okay. So that was the EOM paragraph. Okay. Now again, I cannot use EOM paragraph for SA705 modification and to report key audit matter. Okay. Now I come to the next part, that is other matter paragraph. Now, and I'll also explain the difference between both of them, why there is a requirement of other matter paragraph. Okay. Now, other matter paragraph. When I talk about other matter paragraph, what is that? What it includes? Now, other matter paragraph basically talks about, you could say, a matter other than those and prescribed, okay, in the financial statement or disclosed in the financial statement. So this is a matter other than what is already prescribed in the financial statement. So this is not part of the FS, but it is something other than the FS. Okay, it is something other than the FS, and in auditor's judgment is relevant to the understanding of the auditor's responsibility or auditor's report. Okay, then I can include in other meta paragraph. So again, other meta paragraph is to report or to you can say refer a matter other than matter presented or disclosed appropriately in financial statement. Okay, so other than appropriately disclosed or presented in financial statement, other than, okay, and in auditor's judgment, the matter is relevant to users understanding of auditor's responsibility or the auditor's report. Here, in the other matter paragraph, I am talking about a matter which is other than disclosed in the financial statement. So the matter is not present in the financial statement. Number one. Number two, it is related to understanding of auditor's responsibility or audit report. It is not related to the financial statement. Again, not related to FS, but related to audit of FS. I'm not talking about financial statement, but I'm talking about audit procedure, auditor's responsibility, audit report of the financial statement. Okay. So the purpose here is to focus on an area which is relevant to the auditor's responsibility, auditor's report, okay, which is matter other than the disclosed in the financial statement, okay, and in auditor's judgment is significant for the understanding of the user, okay. If that is the case, then only I can report a particular matter in other matter paragraph. If the auditor considers it necessary to communicate a matter other than those presented or disclosed in the financial statement, in the auditor's judgment is relevant to the user's understanding of the auditor's responsibility, auditor's report, and then the auditor shall include such matter into the other matter paragraph. Now, again, there are exclusions. Which cannot be part of other matter paragraph. One, key audit matters as per SA 701. Okay. Key audit matters as per SA 701 cannot be part of other matters paragraph. Okay. Number two, I cannot use other matter paragraph. Okay. To disclose items that are required to be disclosed by other paragraphs. Can be, let's say for example, going concern or modification or such things. Okay. So I cannot be used for sub- substitution of other paragraphs. Okay, cannot be a substitute for other paragraphs. Like for example, I like going concern, like as I consider key audit matter, or you can say modification. Okay, so here I just want to bring to the user's attention something, but I don't want to qualify or modify my opinion. So I am not qualifying or modifying my opinion, just I want to bring user understanding to that. Okay, that is something I can say that's in the other matter paragraph. However, there are specific standard requirement which requires us to report into EOM other matter paragraph. Okay, so there are certain things which are already prescribed within the standard where we need to use the other matter paragraph, and one of the case was SA 600. Remember SA 600 disclosure that we were seeing over here, see in the other matter paragraph. Now why we have reported over here is, let me show you. If I want to report a matter into other matter paragraph, first I need to talk about a matter that is not reported anywhere in the financial statement. So they are talking about total asset, total revenue, net cash flow, which has been audited by other auditors. In financial statement, it is not somewhere written that, okay, this is audited by other auditors. Number two, I am talking about something which is related to my auditor's responsibility or audit report. So when I say based solely on the report of other auditors, I'm talking about the audit procedures that I have performed. Okay. So that is something you can say other matter paragraph. So as per SA 600 plus 706. So that is something required as per SA 706, but it's not something, like part of key audit matters. It is not the key audit matter, but it's a requirement to disclose so that user can understand our responsibility, my responsibility. And here my responsibility is to audit the parent entity, but in certain cases, I have relied upon the audit reports of other auditor. Clear? Any doubt with respect to other matter paragraph? Any doubt? Very important to understand the difference between both of them. Mm, okay. So, Tushar, your question is that subsequent events after signing of audit report and approval of balance sheet, whether these matters can be included in emphasis of matter paragraph. Okay. See, subsequent matters. Okay. And basically, I'm talking about the matter which is after signing of my audit report and which requires a modification as per SA 560. Now, if you read SA 560, okay, and the relevant requirement basically with respect to the modification, it says that in case the auditor is issuing amended or new audit report because there were some events that were brought to the attention of the auditor, which requires amendment in the opinion, and that is brought to the attention after audit issuance of audit report, then a note to the emphasis of matter paragraph can be added in the financial statement that more extensively discuss the reason for the amendment. So here I need to provide the detailed reason for the amendment. Now what happens is if management, let's say, amends a financial statement, okay. Now if there are facts which are known to the auditor after the financial statement has been issued, I'll ask management to amend the financial statement. And if management amends the financial statement, I'll carry out the procedures, I'll take the review steps, okay. And I may provide new auditor report or amended audit report. When I will provide new or amended audit report on that particular amended financial statement, I will ask management to disclose in the FS why you amended the financial statement. Plus, I will also bring to the notice to the user that this is something disclosed in the financial statement and could be important for you, which was not brought to our attention before, but now we have amended our audit report accordingly. So that can be part of my emphasis of matter paragraph, and that is required also as per SA 70. Oh, sorry, SA 560. Clear? So SA 560 requires you to report such matter into EOM paragraph. Plus SA 210, agreeing the terms of engagement. There's a specific requirement in SA 210 also, which requires you to disclose the matter in emphasis of matter paragraph. That is related to the framework. Okay. That is related to basically the framework. If there is a special purpose framework being adopted, then there is a requirement to explain to the user that, okay, there is a special purpose of framework in the current scenario, and accordingly, attention is required to be brought of the user on that particular point. So, if the auditor determines that the financial reporting framework prescribed by the laws regulation would be unacceptable, but for the fact that is prescribed by a law or regulation, the auditor is required to accept the engagement. But what we need to do is we need to ask management to provide additional disclosure in the financial statement that would lead or that would avoid the misleading of the users. Plus, we need to report into the EOM paragraph and bring to the user's attention about that particular matter. So that is one of the specific scenarios that requires uses of EOM paragraph. Means special scenarios. Other than that, you can use. Now, when I say fundamental to the user understanding of financial statement, means there is something in the financial statement which I want to highlight to the user. Okay, you understand this because this is critical, like using of separate or different financial reporting framework. So I want to bring to the user understanding, okay, that this framework is different. I want to bring to your attention. Also, management is included in the financial statement, but this is very important to your understanding. So that's why I'm re-emphasizing it. So that is something fundamental to the user understanding. No, Tushar. Again, so whosoever was supposed to receive the financial statement with the audit report are required to be, re-delivered again. Any doubt, guys? Any doubt? Okay. Now see, there is one more paragraph, other matter paragraph thing which is included over here, and I want to discuss. See, the consolidated financial results include the results for the quarter ended 31st March 2023 and the 31st March 2022 being the balancing figures between the audited figures in respect of full financial year and the published unaudited year-to-date figures up to third quarter of the respective financial year, which were subject to limited review by us. This is again something which is brought to the attention of the user. It's related to the auditor's responsibility or audit report, which might not be there in, which is not there in the financial statement as a disclosure. So this will not be a disclosure in FS, but I am disclosing it because this is something relevant to the audit, that the numbers which are there is the audited figures and less the limited review figures. So balancing figures are there. That is something I have brought into the, I want to brought to the user's understanding about the audit, auditor's responsibility or audit report. Okay. So this is an example of another example of other matter paragraph. We have seen this example of SA 600. Okay. Any doubt, guys? Any doubt? Tushar, whole of the FS plus audit report is required to be circulated again. Okay. Now, if no questions, then I have one question I would like to ask. So let's say, for example, I'll talk about other matter paragraph. Okay. Now, when I talk about other matter paragraph, there are few things that we discussed that are, can be part of other matter paragraph. Plus, there are certain exclusions also, like KAM and cannot be used for other areas. Now, can I use the other matter paragraph? Again, can I use other matter paragraph to substitute a disclosure of the financial statement? To substitute or to additionally disclose items of the financial statement. Can I include that substitution of the disclosure as per the applicable financial reporting framework in the other matter paragraph? Good, Namrata. Yes, I cannot use to substitute disclosure also. I cannot use to substitute the disclosure of financial statement. Okay. Now, I'll discuss one question. Mr. A, the engagement partner of ABC Limited, wanted to resign from the audit engagement due to limitation on scope of audit. Okay, due to limitation on scope of audit. However, as per prevailing laws, withdrawal was not permitted. However, due to prevailing laws, withdrawal was not permitted. Hence, Mr. A issued disclaimer of opinion considering the possible effect of limitation being material and pervasive, and explained the reason behind unable to resign or unable to withdraw from engagement in other matter paragraph. Management of ABC Limited raised an objection over matters reported under other matter paragraph regarding withdrawal from regarding unable to withdraw. Now you need to kindly provide that whether Mr. A is correct or not. Kindly comment on disclosure by Mr. A. Kindly comment on disclosure by Mr. A in other matter paragraph. So what happened is Mr. A wanted to resign, but he could not because of the prevailing laws. There was a limitation on the scope of audit also. And the effects of limitation were material and pervasive. Hence, he issued disclaimer of opinion. Also, he stated the fact that why he was not able to withdraw from the engagement. So reason behind unable to withdraw from engagement were disclosed in other matter paragraph. Management raised an objection on that. Okay. So management raised an objection that you cannot disclose this thing. Now you need to kindly guide Mr. A whether he can disclose or not in other matter paragraph this particular item. Can Mr. A disclose this particular reason that because of the prevailing laws and regulations, he was not able to disclose from the engagement? And hence, he has issued a disclaimer of opinion accordingly, which is enumerated in, let's say, my basis for disclaimer of opinion. Can it be there? Can auditor include this particular thing in other matter paragraph? Okay, Purvi Ben, good. So let's say if I give you a draft wordings of this, okay. If I give you, let's say for example, draft wordings of this particular text or other matter paragraph, let's say auditor wanted to resign, but auditor was not able. So he can write during the year, there was a limitation on scope of audit, which possible effects of which were material and pervasive. Okay. However, due to prevailing laws and regulation, we were not able to withdraw from engagement, and accordingly we have issued a disclaimer of opinion. Okay. Disclaimer of opinion with basis for disclaimer of opinion, something like that, on similar lines. Okay, let's say for example on similar lines you have this thing. So if this particular text is there in other matter paragraph, can auditor do that? Come on guys, let's say this particular text is there, can auditor do that or not? I'm writing about disclaimer of opinion wherein I'm specifying that because of the disclaimer of because of the possible effects of the limitation of scope, I wanted to withdraw but I could not, and hence the auditor has issued a disclaimer of opinion. Come on guys, pretty easy. Can it be done? Can I do this or not? Simple. Can I include this statement or statement on the similar lines in other matter paragraph? Come on, guys. Or they should be part of key audit matter. Should it be part of key audit matter, or should this be part of emphasis of matter paragraph, or then if not, then other matter paragraph? But can it be part of other matter paragraph? If no, then whether it should go to emphasis of matter paragraph or key audit matters, where it should go. So here, here it should be reported in key other matter paragraph only. Other matter is correct. Reason because if there is something related to the audit, I want to bring to the attention of the user, which is not disclosed in the FS, then it is other matter paragraph. Why not key audit matter? Reason because it's not an area of significant risk. It's not an area where, I have performed the audit procedures and I have addressed the matter. This matter is not addressed. I'm not able to perform any procedures where I'm not able to address this matter. Okay, that's why I'm issuing a disclaimer of opinion. Then, if that is the case, then how can I include this thing into the KAM? That there was a limitation of scope, because this is the basis of disclaimer of opinion, and by default, it will not fall into the KAM. It will not fall into the EOM paragraph, because this will not be disclosed in the financial statement. That okay, there was a limitation on the scope, and because of which there is a disclaimer of opinion. Management will not disclose this in financial statement. This is not the EOM thing, and not related to okay financial statement. So EOM cannot be there. Again, KAM cannot be there because this is not related to a key area which has been addressed. That's why it's necessary to include in the other matter paragraph, and that is also a requirement of my standard, that when the auditor is unable to withdraw from an engagement and the possible effects of inability to obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence due to limitation on scope of the audit imposed by management is pervasive in material, then the auditor may consider necessary to include an other matter paragraph in the audit report to explain why it is not possible for the auditor to withdraw from the engagement. That is a requirement too. But the reason behind the requirement is because it is necessary for the user understanding for the auditor responsibility, or the auditor report. In this case, it's the auditor report. That why I'm issuing a disclaimer of opinion, because there was a limitation and I was not able to withdraw. I'm talking about withdrawal here, not the modification. I'm talking about why I was not able to withdraw because of the prevailing laws and regulations. And what was the limitation? That is this, that will be disclosed in the my basis of disclaimer of opinion. The limitation will be disclosed over there, but I was not able to withdraw. This will be disclosed in other matter paragraph. Clear? It will not be KAM. It will not be emphasis of matter. It will be other matter. Any doubt? Any doubt, guys? Sorry. Okay. So, hello everyone. So we have ma'am with us. Good morning, ma'am.
Morning. Good morning, students. Hope you are all having good learning experience. And now we are at the stage where we will be completing our all engagement and quality control standard. In fact, we are having 1 or 2 sessions remaining in which we will be covering question and answers and mixture of the questions of engagement and quality control standards. Right, Harshad?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is a very, very important section, and it's very important to understand these engagement and quality control standard. And today we have learned the audit report part with the help of real audit report, how the opinion is being drafted. You have understood what are the key audit matters, how to report key audit matters. So all those important aspects, I think it was nicely covered in today's session with the help of examples also. Students, we are more emphasizing on question and answer because engagement and quality control standards, there is not major change. That's why we kept recorded lectures for you, which with the help of those recorded lectures, you can understand the concept. And at the end, auditor is required to report. So he need to comply with engagement and quality control standard because it is statutory requirement also. As per Companies Act 2013, auditor is required to report regarding compliance of engagement and quality control standard. So one need to understand and study carefully these standards. So with the help of questions, we try to cover in-depth analysis of all the standards. What are the situation generally arises? What kind of questions are being asked in the examination? All those all those aspects are being taken care in this lecture. So please go through the lecture carefully and practice as many as questions you can. And in case if you have any doubt, so in next session, we will be having only question and answers, right? We have covered our conceptual part, or maybe glimpse of SA 710 and 720 will be required. But
Yes,
remaining standards also will be covered in the next session. So you are having some days with you in which you need to revise because it's very, very important part which is frequently asked in the examination. And I already told you in first lecture that if you have covered engagement and quality control standards, conceptually you are clear, you are aware of aspects which are taken care in engagement and quality control standard, you will be able to answer in the examination. And it's very, very important weightage. It's very important topic. Weightage of this topic is very, very much. In fact, it alone can give 40 marks questions in the examination. So you need to go through the engagement and quality control standard very, very carefully, right? For audit report part or for engagement and quality control standard, as I already told you, we have 3 kind of questions: knowledge and comprehension, application and analysis, and evaluation and synthesis based question. So for knowledge based question, if the question is of 5 marks or if the question is of 4 marks. So for knowledge based question, this is straightforward as from the standard only, right? So in that part, you need to give, like for 4 marks question, you need to give 4 points, 4 complete points, right? If the points are smaller, then it may be 8 points because it may carry half mark for 1 point. Remember one thing, while preparing your notes, if you are making your notes and segregating 1 point into two or three sub points, then try to make it your habit that mark it as 1, then 1, 2, and 3 bullets down the line. Okay. So when you are writing in the examination, that 1 point should be completely covered because specific marks allocation is there for specific points. It's not you need to write in your, you can write in your own language. You need not to just mug up the same language, same words. But yes, technical words should be taken care, like for materiality, for fraud. It should not be general terms. You need to use technical language, but you can write in your own words. For 5 marks question or for 4 marks question, if it is knowledge-based question, if you are writing 1 point, which you have divided in 3-4 sub-points in your notes for your preparation level or for your ease of learning, and you are writing only those 3 or 4 points in the examination, it means you are covering only 1 point, that is for 1 mark. So specifically, you have covered only 1 marks part. Okay. So when you will be getting your marks, you will be disappointed to see why we have secured less marks. So this is the big mistake which is committed by students. So when you are preparing your own notes, please keep your best standard with you so that at least you are able to understand that yes, this 1 part, 1 mark point, 1 point I have segregated into 3-4 points. So in examination, you need to give complete 4 points. One more important thing, like when you are giving the answer of that, if you are writing second, because you are aware that yes, for 5 marks question, I need to write only 5 points, or for 4 marks question, I need to give 4 points. And when you are writing in the examination, if you are changing the words, some words you are changing or making it in active or passive voice, and you're writing the same thing, it will be only considered as 1 point only. So please ensure that you need to write complete 4 points or 5 points, right? So while making your notes, you need to make this, develop this habit that yes, 4 points to at least, or 5 points at least we are knowing, and 4 or 5 complete points. Though we have made our own notes or we are referring some assignments or notes of some other friend, colleague, or some other books, then also you need to take care that it may be for making easier for you for learning and understanding that this is divided into sub-points. So you need to mention that yes, these 3-4 sub-points are completing 1 point. For application and analysis, if it is scenario-based question, then you need to, because you have gone through many questions and now we have practiced many questions in our sessions, because that's why we have kept recorded lecture. In those recorded lecture also we have practiced many more questions, and now in addition to those lectures we have covered case scenario based question, knowledge based question, many questions we have covered, right? So with the help of those questions you are able to understand yes, in this situation which standard will be applicable. Because many times we receive this query from the students, many mails we got, phone calls we get, that ma'am, we are not able to understand which standard will be applicable. Why not 570? Why not this standard? Or why in standards on auditing question, audit report based question, CARO applicability is also coming. So you need to develop habit. Yes, we are conceptually clear, and then we are practicing with the help of question bank that yes, we are able to identify which standard is applicable, which are the provisions are being asked in the question. So read the question carefully twice or thrice, and then try to visualize in your brain that yes, these are the standards applicable and these are the standards attracting in this question. So what will be our answer, and then write it. Okay. So after that, you just see the answer, what is the answer and whether we are going in correct direction or not. In case if you are finding any difficulty, you can reach to us through Ask Your Query app, or you can log in this BOS live learning classes for advanced auditing and professional ethics, where you can ask. Harshad is there, our learned faculty is there. So they will be glad to answer your doubts and queries. But we really want your success. We really want, because the way paper is coming, we want you to practice a lot and without afraid, without means being ready to face the question paper. So we need to practice hard. We need to work more and more. Okay. So with the help of question bank, with the help of conceptual clarity, you will be able to understand. So practice more and more. In case if you find any difficulty, you can reach to us. For evaluation and synthesis and application and analysis based question, now you are able to identify, yes, these are the standards applicable, these are the provisions applicable. So you need to give the reference of those provisions, standards, with reference of that essay name, right? At final level, we expect you having advanced knowledge or expert knowledge, because after passing CA final, you will be the professional chartered accountant, glory of our profession. You will be representing our profession, right? So our professionals should be expert. Okay. So for that, you should be aware which standard, what is its name. It should not be, we are confused with the name of standard. Okay. So we need to give standards reference with the correct name, and then what are the provisions applicable in that situation, then giving the fact of the case, how it is related to that case, and then conclusion part. So this should be complete, like fact of the case, provision and explanation, and conclusion. So all these parts should be covered in our answer. For evaluation and synthesis, it's like more than one standard is applicable. There might be, like in audit report, if you have gone through many questions we have done and we will be doing it. So there you will find that SA 570 is also coming, SA 705 is also coming. So more than one standards application is, of course, evaluation and synthesis. Or there might be certain situations are being asked in the question where you need to, if it happens, like we need to evaluate and we need to conclude accordingly. So please, when you're reading the question twice and thrice, don't forget if the question is asking about two aspects. Many times we receive queries from students, but they are not able to understand that, yes, in this question, two things are being asked. And they have only answered one part. So please be careful for 5 mark question. If 2 parts are there, maybe one is of 2 mark or 3 mark. And if you miss that, then also you are covering only 40% or 60% of the question. So again, we will be covering, if we compare with 100 marks paper, we are covering only 40 marks or 60 marks. For 5 marks also, if we are writing 1 or 2 points and we are dividing into sub points, then again also we are covering only 40% paper or 60% paper. If you are attempting only 40 marks paper or 60 marks paper, then try to understand, and please, with the help of mock test paper, or you sit in examination condition and take PYQs and write in 3 hours examination condition and analyze where you are lacking. And in case if you find any difficulty, you can reach to us. You can call on 0120 3045 925. You can write through Ask Your Query app. You can ask in your live learning classes, live virtual classes. Log in. It's very, very easy. You can download your BOS mobile app. You are having your registration number and date of registration. It's very, very easy. And nowadays, we are practicing with the help of more and more questions. We will be covering only those topics where amendments are there or some crucial points, means it contains more weightage. So those topics we'll be covering in depth. And for other core topics, we will be uploading recorded lectures and we'll be covering more and more questions so that you are able to practice. And in examination, if you find such kind of questions, so you are able to solve the paper because you have already practiced a lot. So you'll not be afraid, because We are here to guide you how to read the question, what are the aspects being covered in the question, how to write, how to go about it, right? Anything else you want to add, Harshit?
No, ma'am, you have covered in detail already. But just one, yeah, the thing only that please read, practice. That is very, very important. Both of them, yeah.
Yes, that's why, in fact, we go to doctor who is expert. We don't go to doctor which is like who has not studied in
Yes,
depth.
absolutely. Yes,
So
ma'am.
engagement quality control standards are our reflection. We will be our future. We will be future of the profession. And after
Absolutely.
passing CA final, yes, we are the chartered accountant.
Accountants.
So it's in our hand how we are representing our profession. It's in our hand. So we need not to worry about bulkiness of engagement and quality control standard, because we are the only who, after reading their standard, if we are preparing notes, if we go through one standard in one day carefully and then we revise it, we make our own notes. It's not very difficult. It's very easy to get marks. And with the help of the questions which we are covering, it will really help you, and you will not be worried about engagement and quality control standards bulkiness. So please go through carefully, and we are already covering with the help of question and answer. Provide your feedback in case if you need anything else or any specific guidance in any of the topic. So your feedback is very, very important. So we are waiting for your feedback. In case if you want to share your feedback, you're most welcome, and it's very, very important, in fact. And Harshad is also working very hard for your success. So your success is our success, actually, right? We also want you to be successful, and for auditing, actually, generally result is very less. So we want to make it more and more. Hopefully, we'll in next some lectures, we will be coming out with some video presentation also. We'll be showing you some videos, and you will be asking you now what you have observed and how you will be reacting in that situation. So those points, or those things will be covered in our upcoming sessions. So be in touch, be with us. Instead of recorded lecture, if you are with us live lecture, you can ask your queries, because this is the most beneficial part, that you are having some doubts, and doubt is in our brain only, and we are just worried about how to address that, how to answer that. If you are in the session, you can directly ask, and mostly queries are being answered in the session, right? So with this, thank you so much. Thanks for your patience listening. Thank you to our learned faculty and our technical support team. Yes, over to you, Harshad.
Ma'am. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, ma'am, for this wonderful insight. It will be really helpful for the students. So, guys, I'll see you in the next lecture. Thank you for your participation.
Thank you.
Thank you.